What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. It's Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesday. It's here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Make sure you see my finger. Thank you so much for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. If you could, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button to stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesday videos. I would like to welcome you to the finale of the Love series. This is part 8, and this is going to be my personal, when I say personal, I mean super personal thoughts on dating in 2023 for myself. And some of you guys may also feel the same way. So as always, feel free to share the video. I actually recorded this video a couple weeks ago, and I had a lot of issues with it. I didn't feel like dealing with all the editing. It was just a lot of problems with it. So I just decided to go ahead and create a new video. I'm trying not to make this video too long. A lot of videos in this series have been long enough. So we're going to try to make this short and simple and sweet. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So what I've realized about dating, and this is also a summary of my personal reflection for the past couple of days that I've been thinking about this. I've realized some things that I'm willing to tolerate, some things that I'm not willing to tolerate. I think one thing I'm definitely willing to tolerate when it comes to dating is having an open mind about new things. I realize now more than ever that my thoughts, my ways, my actions may be very different from somebody else's. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, sometimes that can be a great thing because it causes me to think outside the box and to think differently in order to progress forward, not just as an individual, but also in a romantic relationship. Because you got to realize when it comes to romantic relationships, you have to work with your partner. A romantic relationship is not a one-man show, one-man band, one woman show. It requires dual effort, because if dual effort is not being committed, it's not going to work, right? One thing I'm not willing to tolerate, though, is lack of accountability and lack of communication. Now, the communication part, I've always been that way because I'm big on communication. But the lack of accountability, that's something that has developed over in recent years that I've noticed with, not all, but a few women that I've dated. And I can't get with a woman that won't hold herself accountable. Because here's the facts. You're not always going to be right. I'm not always going to be right. But when we can own up to the fact that we're wrong or we wronged each other, we can figure out how to come up with a solution and move forward. But if there's no accountability taking place, then that's a problem. So I can't get with somebody that won't hold themselves accountable, or when I do hold them accountable, they play the blame game and say that I'm making them feel like crap. I've had that situation happen to me quite a few times, and it makes me realize, now, in my younger days, when I say younger days, I mean like my late teens, early 20s, yeah, maybe that was the case. But now that I'm older and I've matured, I've learned to watch my words and watch how I move. That doesn't mean I don't make mistakes every now and again. It happens to the best of us. But, a lot of times people will say, you're treating me like crap. When the reality is they're not treating you like crap. They're making you see yourself in the mirror because you're acting like crap. You know what I'm saying? Cats got to be very mindful about that. That's something to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? A couple other things I've realized about myself when it comes to dating. I am the prize. All right? I'm going to just go ahead and put it out there. I'm the ish. I am functified, as the brat would say from back in the day. Shout out to the brat, by the way. I am probably one of the coolest cats that you'll ever meet. I know how to take care of myself. I know how to take care of others. I got my own place. I got my own vehicle. I know how to provide for myself. One day I'm going to be in a great position to provide for a family. I'm a protector. I'm a family man. I have all these great qualities as a man that make me the prize and then some. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't come here to brag. I just came here to simply say that I'm the ish. Okay, yeah, maybe I did come to brag a little bit because I don't brag that often. But sometimes you got to tell yourself when you know your value. You know what I'm saying? And know that you the hot stuff. And if somebody lost you, they lost a great thing. So it's no love lost for women that didn't appreciate it and realize it. But hey, I know what I am, and one day there's going to be a woman that's going to appreciate that. Speaking of which, I've learned that I'm perfectly okay with being by myself. Now, do I have moments where I would like to have a woman in my corner? Absolutely. Ain't even going to sit here in front. I would love to be a married man one day. I have dreams of having a family and building an empire, building generational wealth, having a queen by my side to where we can take care of our family and we can grow the way Yahweh wants us to grow and carry out his mission. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing I will not do is I will not settle for a woman just because I'm lonely. I have moments where I'm lonely. We all do. Being single ain't easy. I'm pretty sure being in a relationship ain't easy either, but being single is not easy. There are its benefits, but it has its cons. And one of the cons is there are times where you get lonely. You wish you had somebody by your side. But you know what? I'd take peace of God any day over a woman of chaos. And there are some beautiful, amazing women out here, but there are also some very chaotic ones. And I've learned to stay away from the chaotic ones. You feel me? I've also learned that if you don't want me, if you don't want to pursue me, if you don't want nothing to do with me, if you're not going to reciprocate effort, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I'm perfectly okay if that's not something you desire to do. Because if there's one thing that I've learned, especially in my early 30s, mind you, by the time I'm recording this video, I'm only 31, but I've definitely learned that women that want you will make themselves available, and then some, tenfold. And fellas, let me just make this perfectly clear, and ladies, I guess this can go for you as well. Sometimes we have to, not even sometimes, screw that noise, all the time, we got to realize that just because a man or a woman doesn't check off all our boxes doesn't mean that they're not good for us. You know what I'm saying? Also, another thing to consider is just because we have a certain preference, maybe that person could be good for us and we need to look beyond our preferences. I understand we have some deal breakers. Like, for example, I use myself as an example. My deal breaker is dating women with kids. I don't want to date women with kids. Not knocking people with kids in general. It's just not my thing. It's not my desire. I want somebody that I can start fresh with. However, I am not against the idea that God very well may bring somebody in my life. And he might be like, look, I get it. You don't want a woman with kids, but this woman got a kid and she's the one for you. And she is purposed to be in your life. Now, I'm not going to lie. I would be on semi-rebellion mode because I'd be like, look, God. But if there's one thing as a believer that I am, it's being obedient. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say that sometimes our preferences can get us in trouble. You know, I hear men say they want a bad chick. That's their preference. I hear women say they want a six-figure man. Here's the reality. You might not get that. In fact, me not wanting what I said is a lot more realistic than what some people say about their preferences. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm sorry, y'all. I just got to let y'all know. We got to be open. And that goes back to that open-mindedness. I'm not saying settle. I'm not saying that at all. But be open to the idea. But the love of your life may be someone totally different from what you could have imagined them to be. It might be somebody you know that you never thought on God's green earth would ever be the person that you would fall for. And it just might happen. And last thing, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, is relationships, love, dating, all that jive is a lot more complicated, but simple at the same time than we realize. It's complicated because people are complicated. People make things complicated. People come from complicated backgrounds. Everybody has a different mindset, different view, different opinion, different way that they go about it. But it's also very simple because it's simply this. If there's somebody that you like and they like you, go for them. If they don't like you, or better yet, they're not reciprocating the same emotions and actions that you are, leave them alone. It's that simple. I think life would be so much easier for both men and women if they just came to that conclusion that, hey, if he likes me and I like him, we doing this thing. If he doesn't like me and I'm giving out mad effort and he's not, no point. If I like her and she likes me and we spend the time together a lot, this could be a good thing. But if I'm making advances and she's leaving me on red or not responding and stuff like that with that same difference, then no, I'm not going to go for that. All right? And those are my thoughts. I have many more things that I could say, but again, I didn't want to make this a long video. I've had enough long videos in this series. So this brings us to the conclusion of the love series. I'm going to make a playlist. I've never made a playlist with my videos before, but I'm going to find some way to do it. But I want to thank you guys. Really, really appreciate your support. I've been doing this love series for years. Started out on social media. Of course, it's been on YouTube for the past, 2 years now? Maybe even 3, actually. Now I think about it. But I always appreciate y'all's support. Starting next week, we are going to jump into a new series. I don't know if you guys remember, but for those who've been following me since January, remember, we had a series about New Year's resolutions and starting brand new and how that's not really the time to start brand new. Technically, springtime is the time to start brand new. Well, guess what? We're going to be jumping into that series starting next week. So make sure you stay tuned. I know I did a lot of long videos this week. That was mainly because I was trying to play catch up. Hope you guys enjoyed them. If you missed any of them, go back, check them out. And yeah, this is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays. Here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and peace.